I'm going to talk about some myths and misconceptions with the earned income tax credit. Okay. Some people say, oh, well, first of all, I don't know if a lot of you know it or not, but to get earned income tax credit, you don't necessarily have to have kids. Actually, yeah, if you are a single taxpayer with no children and you're on very low income and you make less than $15,010, or if you're a married couple, you can't earn more than $20,600. Okay. Either one of those incomes, depending on if you're married or single, but basically as long as you're under those amounts, you can actually qualify for some earned income credit. So that's one misconception people have, thinking that they can only get earned income credit if they have kids, and that's not the case. All right, now I'm just tossing my notes around because I don't want to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, now the next thing is, another misconception is, I hear people say to me stuff like, oh, I have 2 kids. Like this year for 2 kids, if you have 2 kids, the earned income credit is actually going to be $5,616. So some people will say, oh, well, that's how much I'm getting because I have 2 kids. That's a misconception, okay? Yes, is that the maximum amount you can get? Yes, but it doesn't mean that just because you have 2 kids that that's what you're getting. All right, because earned income, that's why it's called earned income, because it's based off of your income, the amount of your income, and how many kids you have, and that's what will determine whether or not, how much you qualify for, okay? So, let's say for somebody with 2 kids, you can't make more than $45,007. Or if you're married filing joint, your income can't be more than $50,597. So let me explain to you how that works. It works like this. The closer you are to the maximum threshold, the lower your earned income credit amount is going to be. And that's what I try to explain to everybody, because everybody just thinks, that it's just earned income credit is a flat amount, and it's really not. It varies depending on how many kids and depending on your income. So basically, whatever the threshold is for the amount of kids you have, the higher you make, the lower your earned income credit is going to be. Okay, so I wanted to clear up that misconception. Then you have another misconception. I don't have a job, so I don't qualify for earned income credit, but I do have self-employed income. That's another misconception. That's the whole thing. Earned income credit is just what it says, earned income. So if you don't have a job, but you're self-employed, can you get earned income credit? Absolutely. Okay, so that's a misconception. Another misconception or myth, people would say, oh, okay, well, I got unemployment, so shouldn't I get earned income credit because I have 2 kids? No, you shouldn't, because unemployment is not earned income. Notice it's unemployment, it's unemployed income. So no, you cannot get earned income credit with unemployed income. Now, let me just explain a little bit about how that works. So sometimes you have people who have a combination of income. They might have some earned income, and then some unemployment. So basically, yes, will you get partial earned income credit for the amount of income that you have that's earned? Absolutely. But the part that you got from unemployment is not going to be factored in there, okay? So I wanted to tell you about that. Another misconception or myth with earned income credit. All right, some people will say, oh, I can get earned income credit for all my kids. Not really. It works like this. Okay, so you can get earned income credit for 1 child, for 2 children, for 3 children, anything over 3. Are you still going to get credit? Of course, but there's a maximum they're giving you. As a matter of fact, the maximum credit for someone with 3 or more kids is $6,318 for this filing. So I'm just saying to say, let's say you have 5 kids. Okay, you can still put your 5 kids on there, but it's not like you're going to get anything beyond that $6,318. That's the max they're giving for 3 or more kids. So let me give you all the maximum amounts that you can get. So for someone with no children, as I stated earlier, can you qualify if you fall below those incomes? Yes. But the maximum you're going to get with no children is $510. Okay, for someone with one child, the maximum you're going to get is $3,400. The maximum you're going to get with two children is $5,616. And the maximum you're going to get with three children is $6,318. Okay? So now I told you all of that. Now let me tell you a little bit about how you qualify. Okay? First of all, to qualify, your filing status cannot be married filing joint. I don't know if some of you saw my blog post that I put up the other day on my website, but yeah, married filing joint, you're going to take yourself out of a lot of credits, and earned income credit is one of them. All right, another way to qualify for earned income credit is that your adjusted gross income has to fall below the cutoff limits. I'm not really going to go through all the cutoff limits because they vary based on your filing status. Okay, but yeah, you would have to see, okay, what's the cutoff, because as long as you're under that cutoff, yes, you can qualify. It's just the amount. You also must be a United States citizen with a Social Security number. You can't have an ITIN number. You're not going to qualify with that. Okay, and if you do have investment income, it has to be less than $3,450. If your investment income is more than that, yeah, then you're not going to qualify. Okay, now let me give you some rules to qualify without kids. Okay, so to qualify without kids, first of all, you have to be at least 25, and you can't be older than 65, okay? And you also cannot be the dependent of somebody else. You also cannot be the qualifying child of somebody else. And you must have lived in the United States for more than half the year, okay? So those are the rules to qualify for EIC without kids. Now let me tell you the rules to qualify with kids. So if you do have kids and you meet all those other qualifications, first of all, your child that you're claiming has to meet the relationship test. The relationship can be your biological son, your daughter, your stepchild, your foster child, your grandchild, adopted child, even your brother or sister, half-sister, step-sibling, niece, or nephew. The thing is, any of those qualifying children you claim, like maybe a brother or sister, because some people didn't even know that they could, claim their brother or sister for earned income credit. And yeah, you can. But the thing is, your sibling has to be younger than you. So let's say you have a situation where maybe your brother or your sister is like 23, they're in college, they live with you, but maybe you're 22 and you legitimately take care of them. Unfortunately, you won't be able to claim them for the earned income credit because they're older than you, okay? So that's the glitch. That's the glitch with that. All right, now that I wanted to tell you all about earned income credit tonight. And then I just wanted to answer a couple of questions. Like, some people had reached out and asked me a couple of these questions. So I'm going to answer them. Maybe it applies to you. Maybe it applies to somebody that you know. Someone asked me, can I collect a refund from unemployment? That's kind of like a yes, excuse me, that's kind of like a yes and a no. The thing is, when you're getting unemployment, you know how when you're first filing for unemployment, it will ask you, well, do you want the taxes taken out, right? Some people say no because they want to get their full unemployment, and that's fine. But if there were no taxes taken out of your unemployment for the whole year, then the answer to that question, can I collect a refund from unemployment? Then no, you can't. I always tell people, IRS doesn't really owe you something they never took. Now, if it was a case where you did have them taking out taxes from your unemployment, then the answer to that question is, can I collect a refund from unemployment? Yes, you can. Okay, so it just depends. Someone also reached out and asked me, how can I stop IRS from taking my refunds when I owe back child support or other debts? All right. So I wanted to mention to you some of the debts that IRS can snatch your refund. Like, I use that word snatch all the time. But yeah, if you owe back child support, if you owe federal taxes, if you owe state taxes, If you owe student loans that you have not like worked out a payment plan or have some sort of repayment in place, can they take your refunds? Absolutely. So you really want to try and resolve all of those issues I just mentioned, because that's the only way you can prevent them from taking your refund. So like, you know, I have some clients who are maybe in a situation with student loans. So I tell them, you know what, hold off. Don't rush to file. First, get things straight with your student loans. If you have to get in forbearance or deferred payment, whatever you're going to do that first, and then try and file your taxes. Like, let everything get straightened out with that. All right, and that's one way you can prevent that. Now, I'm going to give you a phone number because some people want to find out. Well, I'm going to tell you, if you want to find out, rather, I'm just looking at my phone for a minute to get this number. If you want to find out whether or not you do have something like a tax debt, here's the number to call. It's called the Treasury Offset Program, and it's 1-800-304-3107. I'm going to say it again, 1-800-304-3107. Okay, you call that number. It's very self-explanatory when they ask you the questions, and you just answer, plug in your social, plug in this, plug in that, and you'll be able to hear if you actually have anything owed. This way you kind of know, you know, who's going to be trying to take my refund. And another question someone sent me. Sorry. Okay. The last question, and then I'm going to be signing off. All right. Okay. Someone asked me if I owe student loans like that. A lot of people owe student loans. Like, if I owe student loans, should I file a tax return? And I will tell you the answer is always yes, you should. Okay. I try to tell people all the time, like, you're really not doing yourself any favors by not filing, no matter what the situation is. If you are required to file, and believe it or not, there are some situations where you're not required to file a return, and maybe I'll do that at another live session. But yeah, if you are required to file, you know, then file. Even if you have a student loan situation in place. Just like I said, you may just want to make sure it's straightened out. But don't not file at all, because what can happen is they can turn around and they can issue you with a non-filing penalty. And then on top of the penalty, they can add interest and penalties, right? Penalties and interest. Okay, so you always want to make sure you do file. All right, so that's pretty much I call this session, what do I call it? Let's Talk Taxes. All right, and I'm going to try and do these more often, so you can inbox me with your questions and things you want to know more about. Tell me, you know, what you'd like to know more about. I'm also on Instagram, and you can DM me over there. You know, basically whatever you want to know, I'll share as much as I can. I'm going to be very busy this season because I know I always put it in my post, but yes, I do have a few hundred clients across the United States, so I am going to be busy, but I'm going to try to pop on here and there to share information with you all right? And if you want more information about me and my services, my website is hargeconnections.com, and it's spelled HARDGECONNECTIONS.com. You can also visit a link I set up just for this season at 2018taxseason.com. All right, so I'm glad some of you are commenting, and thanks for sharing the info. I'm so glad. So maybe, you know, share this on your social media, repost my live video. Maybe some people who follow you or whatever can, hi, Chris. Maybe some of you, you know, maybe some people who follow you can really use these tips I shared, okay? Hope you all got informed, and I'll see you in my next live. Take care.